Definitely a tie between federal laws and policies and special registrations to the attitude of the people. Because when people see the government going at such great extent to establish the Patriot Act or to deport people or to detain them for months and months without their family knowing anything, people get this sense of, oh, it's okay for me to go out and tell some Muslims what to do because now the government thinks that they're bad, so I should too.
That's the only right way. Can anybody give me an example of that? I was riding the train like I usually do to come back home, and there was quite an old middle-aged man who's white who called me a Muslim bastard and kind of ran out of the train. Most people who ever said anything to me were there for me to confront or to ask questions, but he just vanished. But I went home and I thought about it a lot, actually, because to know why he said it, maybe then I could answer some of his questions. Hate crimes against Muslims, Southeast Asians, those who look like Muslims, have been on a rise. I mean, you sit back and you're like, wow, what do I do about it? I've decided to be involved in building bridges and bias crimes and youth awareness around the issues of hate crimes and prejudice because there's this level of intolerance, there's this level of ignorance that they tend to associate one another with, and it's disgusting.
Somebody Catholic would do the same thing. I don't think they'll be out here trying to do special registration for every Catholic person out here. I just think because they know it's from a different country that they try to really go extra hard to casual them for no reason. I don't think it's fair. It makes you feel like it can happen to anybody, like anybody around here, like anybody else could be next. Like, I don't know, it's too close to home.
Mr. Cross is far from a terrorist. Teammate. He plays by the game just like the rest of us.
A high school student in Queens is breathing a big sigh of relief tonight. He faced deportation because of the greater scrutiny of Middle Eastern immigrants since September 11th.
After registering with the federal government, the 18-year-old Jamaica high school junior was told he would be deported because he wasn't a U.S. citizen. When officials heard about his plight, they intervened and the INS backed down.
We claim now that democracy in this one case, that our principles upon which this country were founded, have been restored.
I was able to obtain, the certain documents, like the Social Security card and the work authorization to work legally. But then again, it hurt a lot of people, there's a saying, like, for one Michael Jordan, there's like 100,000 players that get rejected.
Dear Mrs. Clinton, my name is Akib. I was born in America in the year of 1993 on May 25th. I'm writing this letter to tell you that my father, Mohammed, is in your custody for almost 9 months. If a family is a bond that can never break, and if it breaks, it feels as if a mirror is breaking into pieces. I don't want my family and me getting hurt. All I want for my birthday present is my father back home. In school, I have learned that my country, the United States of America, stands for freedom, and I want my father free too. I am feeling very sad and it's very hard for me to concentrate on my school work, which is affecting my grades. So please let my father stay here.
And this is what we got after 2.5 months, 3 months later. These people are very powerful people in the government. If they write, we can't do anything, So where do we go next,
I felt disappointed that Hillary couldn't help us.
What were you expecting she could do?
To get my father out so he can come back and we can live all together as a family.
My friends and I debate back and forth, it's better safe than sorry. But when you look at the families that are being affected, and it really doesn't do anything better. It makes things worse, if anything else.
This special registration program, in which 83,000 young men went through, yielded 0 terrorists. Millions of dollars were spent, and that were totally wasted.
In the long run, who knows? Maybe this will be seen as something bad. I hear that the Patriot Act has an expiration date. There's a rumor that most Congress members, when signing it into law, didn't even read it. I know that it pretty much gives federal officials special rights. They could just walk over and search you, question you, and lock you up without giving you the right to a lawyer, without reading you your Miranda rights, without even telling you what you were accused of. I mean, I would just go nuts not knowing what I was accused of.
Life is difficult. My father was the breadwinner of the house, so after my dad left, it was like the credit card bills, the phone bills, and telephone bills. And I was like, oh my God, how do you do this? This is not me. I was always in my world, in school, and what to buy, and how to do really good in my studies, and, be up there with all the top students. And after this situation, I became really strong in things,
Push it. Oh no, it doesn't work. You have to push it. You have to push it.
It will. After he left, I guess I became more attached to them. They became more attached. Questions they'll ask my father, they usually ask me now, And some of them are really hard questions, Like, when is our father coming back? Everybody has their father. Why can't we have our father back? It's not fair, And like one of them said, that you said God is always fair. How come God is not being fair now? I was just thinking the world is so big and busy, and I'm just so small comparing to it, And so I'm really tired.